Thursday, week 132, takes us to the Red Bull Ring circuit. And despite Logan's suggestion, it is the full circuit. He wanted the short layout, but it's almost too short, even for the 600 class, which is what we are running here today. Once again, proving that it's not track length, it's basically just race time. Not that Red Bull Ring is actually that long of a lap even in these cars, since you spend a lot of the lap at full speed, full throttle, what have you. You got, like, basically 3.5 big straightaways. It's a power track, obviously, but, the average speeds are relatively high in spite of the track's basically 2.5 hairpins. But yeah, this race is going to have a lot of debuting cars. I'm actually just going to get into them before we even take the green flag. We have Max Stanford in a brand new Suzuki Jimny Sierra trim. Normally he likes Hummers, so I guess he's just kind of pretending. Veronica Katsuragi, on top of her 1992 NSX, also expands with a 1998 EK Civic. Lisbeth with a Ferrari? You wish. Peugeot 208 GTI. Dipped in carbon from like front bumper to rear bumper, by the way. Raven Katsuragi also has a new vehicle, along with what her sister has. Rather than an EK9, it is an S600, which would be interesting. Michael Krieger with an M3 E30. Ricky Briggs with a Ferrari 308. I thought he was a muscle car guy, but apparently he's just a 70s guy. Jeff Cooper with a basically his own interpretation of the Mini Cooper Challenge. Sinon, just 3 days removed from her victory at Lake Maggiore, is here in a I think he said it was an urban camo design. Logan said on her F-150. Leafa in a Corolla 11 with a very basic design on it. Basically just like a small horizontal line of sponsors, and then just the title sponsor is the team itself. And that is it. And we are green from Red Bull Ring. As you may have gotten a glimpse of, Barbara Page is the POV driver this round in her first generation Corvette. Urban Estate has looked pretty solid the entire week. They've had high attendance this week. Got within inches, basically, of capturing the victory at Road Atlanta, but now it is solely in Barbara's hands to capture said victory from the Red Bull Ring, as her teammates are not here. She doesn't have any teammates that run this category. I'm already seeing the usual accordion effect at turn 1 at Red Bull Ring, but it looks like everybody is through with only Siegfried Brandt having a damaged car. Honestly, that's a different kind of impressive to be the only person to manage to dent your car at the first corner of Red Bull Ring. Never mind, Lisbeth has damage too. I don't know how they could have hit each other though. Whoa, Briggs. Holy shnikes. How many did you just pass there? Well, you got passed by Barbara on the exit, but some ultra super late braking gets Liz, gets Casillas, gets Silica. He might get Thrasher on exit if he gets the power down right. Never mind, he's going to be blocked by Katsuragi. But that's still like 3 passes in a single hairpin. Combined with any he may have gotten on the exit of turn 2. I don't call it turn 3. That kink is not a turn. Shut up. He will later get Katsuragi around the outside, maybe through turns 5 and 6. Yes, he will. Raven has had an absolute, not shocking, that's bad. Whoa. Raven had a really strong start. And I guess this wouldn't really make it a bad start now that she's just had a bounce. But that, I feel like my spine just got thrown out of place just looking at that. Barbara passes her on the exit because she did not basically turn her car into a trampoline on wheels. Roadster passing Roadster, you could make a small championship out of this if you had enough of them. But we don't. Noir, this should be an obvious outmatch. A Camaro trying to outdrag a Suzuki fucking Jimny, that should be easy as pie, and it is. And Barbara has already made her way up to third. Passing fellow Blondie Pepper Mills. Both the healers, too, for that matter. Who's with that? Blondie is with pigtails, and they're both, well, basically, not certified, but they're both kind of the medics of the challenge series. Weird. I guess it'd be more like doctor and nurse than anything. Barbara's the nurse, and Pepper's the actual med doctor. As you can see, there's a lot of debuting cars. Gemini has fallen off. He started on pole. He's down to 9th place. And he's, I think, just trying to protect what he still has. Lipa has made her way from 17th to 11th. Make that 10th for the Corolla 11. Trying to maybe redeem herself after the utter clumsiness that she displayed at Lago Maggiore at Monday. At Monday, yeah. Oh, she's probably looking to the battle for the lead. Barbara got a better run out of 5 and 6. Gets alongside the Camaro. My lungs are trying to give up on me, but I will not allow them. I'm still using them. Through turn 8, Noir sweeps on the outside. Barbara gets the better exit though. Through turn 9, nearly colliding. Barbara massively sideways, but still somehow gets a better exit than the Camaro did. And this will basically be determined at turn 1. Never mind, Barbara is already clear. The Camaro does not form a response. And I think Barbara will now just be able to simply drive away with it. If I know her. I don't think that Integra is going to do much against the S600. And indeed, that is pretty straightforward. Never mind. Ran out of momentum at the top of the hill. Mills forces the issue. Contact made, but I think Raven will be able to claim the lead. No, she does not get it done. But there's still 20 more chances. Down the inside, a battle of Hondas, old and less old. Can't really even say old and new because this is still from 1995. Now I think Raven has it done, and indeed she is into 4th. And next is a literal Jeep, so I'd be surprised if that lasts for very long. Noir is not losing track, but she's not getting any closer to Barbara Page either. So we'll turn our attentions back to the rest of the field and see what's brewing down here. Jeff Cooper is having quite a race. Made his way from, I believe, about 14th, 15th on the grid to 8th. Briggs is massively sideways. That is a remarkable save. But Jeff Cooper has no time for your remarkable saves. He will just pass you, I reckon. No, you're not yet. Lipa's in the background. Katsuragi is trying to hang on to the top 10. I don't think Tyler is going to allow her to. The Charger is obviously going to have a lot more horsepower and acceleration even than an EK Civic, just because it's not front-wheel drive is probably the only degree of separation. Missed that. But I really had enough time to move the camera away, and Raven got ahead of Stanford. At turn 8? Well, that's just embarrassing. You just muscle the Jimny out of the way in an S600. Really? This tiny ass thing. Oh, more bouncing, but yep, that cleared it. And then by the time I looked back, even Pepper Mills was trying to take a shot at the Suzuki driver. It seems Cooper and Briggs are dead even in terms of performance on a straight, but whoa, you got that stopped? Damn, gosh, are you just gonna take that? Holy shit! Logan has told me of the forbidden art of turning defense into maximum attack, but I did not know it could go like this. Yeah, he's attacked from Cooper, and he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna defend from you by putting an F-150 in between us. How do you like them apples, Mr. Britt? Just the grenade to escape. Don't understand. I went from a basically death-defying save basically a minute ago. Now he just did that? There are no words. The English lexicon cannot properly describe what the hell I just looked at. There's nothing doing at the front, by the way. Noir is still pretty much sticking at that weird, like, 1 to 2 second range. Never losing sight of the Corvette, but never being able to attack it either. And I feel like it's gonna remain this way until they take the checkered flag in about 2 minutes. Raven's on an island. Mills is attempting to attack Stanford, but now she's got this absolute lunatic in her mirrors. Cooper and Thrasher fight for 7th, but Thrasher will able to at least out-accelerate the Mini for the moment, but that may not last for long. Nose is now running. Just an absolute cluster of vehicles, just a train being headed by one Max Stanford. Cooper this time gets it on the outside of turn 1. He is tired of waiting for Thrasher, and he will just take it himself. Can Briggs get a move on Mills? I think she covers him off. Oh, crashes into the back of the Jimny. As a matter of fact, to try and keep the 308 away. It matters not. Pepper's going to lose 2 places. Going to get outbroken by Briggs and out-accelerated by Jeff Cooper. Briggs is looking for even more. You might get the Suzuki before we're done. No, Cooper will get them both. Super straight line speed from a Mini Cooper. That's not a sentence I thought I'd ever say out loud. He's gonna get the Jimny and the 308 on a straightaway. Unheard of for a front-wheel drive machine. But Cooper will grab them. Racecraft befitting of somebody who's raced in Formula 1, I would say. But speaking of racecraft, the top racecraft still belongs to Barbara Page. 2 more corners to go for the first-gen Corvette. While most of the race was exciting only for basically 3rd place on down, Barbara Page made the battle for the lead pretty much a formality. Victory at the Red Bull Ring. Noir follows her close behind, only about a 1.5 seconds back. Raven 3rd, leading a train of many cars. She was losing time to Cooper and everybody else. She got complacent on the final lap. Cooper with an ecstatic, exhilarating 4th place finish. Stanford hangs on to P5, keeping the Ferrari away. And Pepper Mills probably punching the air right about now. She should have had a solid 3rd or 4th place finish, but she just could not line up the move on Stanford in time, and as a result, loses places to Briggs and Cooper. And then Thrasher's there in 8th. Leafa debuts her 11 and 9th. Tyler rounds out the top 10. Veronica, well, it did well for front-wheel drive anyway. But there's only so much you can do in those cars. Let's face it. So, is Barbara's Day. Urban Estate finally gets the win that they could have had at Road Atlanta. They should have had, honestly, but they just didn't. But they get it here. Jeff Cooper ran a 38.6 in a fucking Mini Cooper. I don't have any explanation for the show that Briggs and Cooper have given us here. We have reached the end of week 132, and it brings us to a roulette round at Deep Forest. It seems like it's been a bit since we've even had a roulette round, since the last couple of weeks have just been, well, just a normal category race on the spot, rather than that. Just simple as that. But nonetheless, yeah, we finished things off with, well, somehow a race that'll end up probably being more chaotic than Suzuka already was, which is almost concerning to think about, but that's just going to be because this roulette race includes every category. We've got, well, technically 750R, which is a new rules package being used by the high-end race cars, the 4 of them that exist in the 750 category that really couldn't achieve anything because the rules required their power to be adjusted so much that the downforce they had didn't even matter anymore. You ever see a Porsche 962 with 488 horsepower? Because, well, that's what we used to have, but with the new rules package to actually make them competitive and, honestly, safe, due to the closing speeds between them and something like, say, a Lamborghini Murcielago doing 205 or, you know, other similar hypercars in the 750 class. Now I think it sits at 610, somewhere around there. So 120 horsepower given back to the Group C. But yeah, all 4 of the 750R vehicles that are in this race because there are 4 of them now. And then we also have 525 class cars. So a Porsche 962 and a Suzuki Cappuccino are going to be sharing the racetrack. This is going to be terrible or amazing, or both. We are away, but most of us are away. Thrasher really isn't away at all, as a matter of fact. Yeah, for somehow, because random number generation, Thrasher in his Suzuki Cappuccino ends up on the pole. There's been contact. No, Riho got into the back of Ryza. That'll do it. Anything else? Oh, yep. Nico ran into the back of Juan Santana. How did you even get into that situation, Nico? What the fuck? How did you try? Did you try to outbrake a CLK GTR? I shake my head at you. There's one debuting car, and there's a lot of them in this race, believe me. We have more time to get to them. Blonde, nearly getting spun up by Barbara, is the POV driver of this race. It's her Toyota TS020, one of the four beneficiaries of the new 750R rules. No, it does not apply to GT3 cars, by the way. It only applies to GT2 and up. Not that there's any GT2 cars in the game, but, you know, Group 2 and Group C cars, since that's all we have at the moment. The TS020 is already through to second place. Everybody's just kind of getting shuffled into their order here. Ray Guy is way ahead in his 962. He started third, so he had basically more or less a clear view for the first corner. And now Blonde will attempt to chase him down. 7 seconds and change to him. Why is Kanan still in third? Never mind, Nakazato is rapidly approaching. And, what did he say? I think it was a Assoluto Gepardo, I think is how it was pronounced. Gepardo, something French, son of a bitch. I don't know. It's just a modified 787V. Heavily modified, so it's street legal. That is certainly a line I've seen through the... What the f*** was that? Kanan's still in fourth, though. Trivial's about to change that, I reckon. I hope. Let's see here. Debuting cars. Yeah, Nakazato's Assoluto Gepardo is new. Iris and Isabel now have 640 class cars. An Escort for Iris, a Mustang Boss for Isabel. Evelyn Sienna has a new Mountain Dew themed Dodge Challenger for this race in the 640 class. Speaking of Mountain Dew, Logan just passing Isabel, because that's a different category from her. She tries to outbrake him for some reason, I'm not sure why. Yeah, Logan doesn't really like that. Yep, Kunimitsu Miura with a Mazda 3. That's not new. Oh yeah, it's ready to go. I was like, how are you not past him yet? Damn. And Noir in a Honda S660. Basically reusing the basic design concept from her Dirt Division Subaru that got wrecked right before we shuttered the Dirt Division a handful of weeks ago. I mean, speaking of, Juan has basically caught up to the back of Akirana, running a 22.5 along the way. We'll see how quick she is at making the move happen. Looks like it's gonna be pretty quick. She's already right up to his rear wing, basically. Should just be as simple as grabbing a slipstream and getting the move done into turn 1, I would assume. Or I'd hit up the final turn, because the guy, I think, had to brake for that, which is an absolute lie. He should not have to do that in 962. I don't care how little air you put on that thing. That should be flat out in a Group C. Especially if it was flat out in a GT1 car. Things are already pretty spread out. Dick Trivial's pretty much on his own in the 715 category up here. His closest opponent is down in somewhere 15th because Nico got damaged lap 1. And that's basically his only opponent in that category. We'll get a look at that real quick. Ivan out-drags the Pontiac Fiero into the hairpin. Jimmy, I believe, tries to take it back, but doesn't move over in the steering well enough, I guess. He could have outbroken him pretty easily, but he instead just runs into him. Not his best maneuver. I'm gonna go ahead and say, whoa, Isabel, hang on to it. Logan struggling to pass Focus. Yeah, we're looking at like category leaders right now. Dick Trivial leading 7-15 by a mile. No competition. His only opponent in the category is Nico in the LFA. Barbara is leading 675, not by as much. Logan is right here. Kanan is leading 640, which is by far the biggest class in this race. And obviously she's not leading it by much. Evie is right here, followed closely by Iris, and not so closely by Isabel, who's apparently still working on the setup of her Mustang. Juan is a disappointment. He should be in the top 4, but because he got involved with Nico on lap 1, that doesn't sound right. Because they collided on lap 1, he is effectively a non-factor in this event. Logan still cannot pass the Ford Focus. Nearly got run into by Sienna for good measure. It's basically her telling him to hurry it up. I should have probably been looking at the pass for the lead. Wait, no, I covered that. No, it was just out of the final corner. Lap traffic time. Actually, they've already done that. More lap traffic time. Yeah, Santo ran a 20.9, but like it didn't matter. The two leaders. Nope. Somehow Rigai saw Chevelle ahead of him and got stun locked for a moment. Ooh. Yeah, that's scary. That is incredibly scary. Despite their nonsense, because there's only one other car in their category and she got damaged on lap 1, Ivan and Jimmy didn't lose any positions in their category, or at all, really, when they had to pit for their own damage. I would hate being a lower class car in this race. I would absolutely hate it. You want to let Stick Trivial by. Blonde and Akirana are up to the leading 600 class cars. Tsunosu, I think, would be way more fun in a higher class car to manage the traffic when it's this spread out. Sort of just bad timing to catch him, all things considered. He can't do much else. He's not gonna throw himself off the circuit to get out of the way. I mean, he can do that, but I wouldn't advise it. Two leaders continue to be pretty much dead even. Nakazato has caught them, but is being dive bombed by a 300 SC. What in the goddamn shit are you doing, Sotokov? And if you're wondering why, yeah, I know what happens here. Barber goes by, Noir can barely fucking accelerate here. Yeah, I heard about this, we'll say. That damaged Noir, that damaged Logan. The two new admins come together, their first week of shared employment. I don't even know. But it took Logan out of contention for the category lead, despite Barbara's basically being stun-locked by the existence of Thrasher. We just skip ahead to the start of the final lap of the race. Well, it's the final lap for the group, for the 750R cars. Dick Trivial is about to cross the line to actually win in his class. His two-car class. That's still more than the last roulette race where Gina won by default, being the only car in the class. Class win for Mopar Garage. Double class win at that, as Evie, Evelyn Sienna is, well, attempting to fend off Kanon for it, down to the hairpin. I don't even know how she got ahead of her in the first place, honestly. Well, that is a line. Okay, so it was actually like right when I started to skip ahead. Yeah, Challenger versus Ford fucked this on the straight line. Obviously, the Challenger is probably going to win that. So it does. Down the inside. Kanon brakes later, but Sienna muscles her out wide a little, and then diamonds the exit to get the skip spot. 45 seconds later, and because she got held up by Thrasher on the straightaway, Kanon gets a chance to take it back. And they once again go down, basically battling to the hairpin this time around. Now it's Kanon down the inside. Sienna puts the squeeze on her and bounces off the door of the Focus, is all I can assume happens. And she jams on the brakes to try and maintain control, so it's actually not going to be a double class swing. Kanon is going to steal it right back, courtesy of Thrasher. Sort of a drag race, but not really. Kanon Matsura wins the 640 class. Barbara won the 675 class by, yes, amount. And for the 600 class, it will go somewhere to Ivan Sotokov, whose race is already finished. And in the 525 class, it's Thrasher, who will now climb the hill to take his own class win. A 3-car category. And at the same exact time, here comes our race winner, Guan, to grab the overall victory for 750R here at Deep Forest. Rigai right on her tail. Nakazato not that far away. If he had had better luck with the starting grid, I'm sure he would have had a 3-way battle to the line, but instead, this is how the cookie crumbles.